people now. Come on. You know, you have to work hard. You have to work hard at it and keep going. But, you know, what's that saying? Little acorns become big oak trees. Hello?
But there are people, but that's why I'm saying the people that will hear this show and hear the podcast and will react to it are those people that have an entrepreneurial spirit. Some of them may not have it as strong as others, and some of them may not be as good as others can be. They don't
know until they try.
But they have, that's what I was going toward. You have to step off the curb and take the chance. You're not going to get run over by a bus every time you step off the curb.
Oh my God. If you have that negative attitude, you might as well just stay in your bed.
Exactly. You need to be a worker bee, and there is a large group of people on earth that need to remain worker bee, and it's fine. It really is. And but if you just think if Bill Gates told his friends he wanted to do this and they laughed at him and he said, "Oh, man, you're right. This is stupid to even think I could create something." And he didn't have any idea he would be a billionaire, so I'm not trying to say that. But he stepped off the curb.
Yeah, and he kept going. Even when I'm sure that he must have had many people telling him, nah, you know what, you need to leave that alone and get yourself a proper job. That's the type of thing that I've heard before. Oh, no, that ain't going to work for you. And, if I took notice of people when they were telling me half not even half, a third of the things that they said to me, people, I would never have done nothing.
Right.
Because I would have been listening to them and thinking, you know what, they're right, I should not do that, and I should just go and, just sit in my house and just stay there and don't talk to nobody about nothing again. No, I don't have that mentality. That's just not me. I am far too positive. And you see, when you are positive and when you say, no, I'm going to keep going, just keep going. You don't know where it could lead to. So basically, until you try, you will never know. And don't let anyone tell you can't even try it. Hello, if you don't even give it a go, how can they tell you that you will never get anywhere? You're feeding into what they're saying. Oh, yeah, well, I'm not going to do anything. Mm-hmm.
Well, but and that's the most people don't have the push to go past that. They don't have the mindset to not let those things bother them. And so when you have the group mentality, and it works the same thing as far as even just going out to eat or going to party somewhere. If you want to be different, and instead of going to the steak place, you want to go get, some good Tex-Mex. If the rest of the group is always wanting steak, and you just get some people aren't strong enough to say, hey, let's try something different. They just roll with the punches and do what everybody else does.
And then they want to complain. They see those people now. Okay, they want to complain about. Oh, but you see, I'm not getting anywhere. Hello, how can you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result? Now, I know that saying usually applies to relationships, but hello, people.
Well, it also goes to insanity.
Just in general, right? Exactly. I have to say this, K-Rose. I have to say it. I said it earlier, but apparently black people have a spending power calculated roughly at well over $1 trillion. Now, this is US dollars, okay? But I just want to know, and it's a question I'm posing for you guys out there as you're listening, what would the economic landscape around the world look like if we pulled together to share resources, create and build businesses, and obviously patron each other's black-owned businesses? Come on. Hello. It's not a hard thing to do. Next time you go out there, please think about it and just say, okay, now, I'm not trying to take food out of anyone else's mouth, but I'm just saying, have it in your conscience to think, okay, if I shopped in this shop and I spent £2, could I not spend another £2 in a black-owned shop instead of walking past it? I'm just saying, be more equal with where you shop.
But you have to bring attention to it, which is what we are doing today, what you're doing today with the show. And we need to show each other that we are successful or that business is good. We need to...
We want to help each other. We want to patron each other's businesses because the product or whatever it is good. Because let's just be on the real, K-Rose. If something ain't nice, you don't want it. Hello. Don't matter who's selling it. If the food in that chicken shop is nasty, you don't want to eat in there. It don't matter who's cooking it. If you went in there and found, if you went in there and found hair in the food and all, I could keep going. Well, you know what I mean.
Right. If it's non-hygienic, if it's nasty, or even if it's bad. If it's a restaurant that if they are owned by a black person and their food is not good to me, I will not go back to them. I had a bad experience on Christmas about 6-7 years ago. Each Christmas, we here in America, you have turkey around the world. Some people, when you have Thanksgiving or Christmas, turkey is a big player. And so for us, our family, we get turkey smoked or have a Cajun, there's a Cajun way to cook turkeys and whatever.
Right.
But we went to a black-owned business to have them smoke our turkey. I had gone to eat their food.
You're gonna just blaze them out now, yeah.
It's a moral to this story. But two things: I ate food. I'm a barbecue connoisseur. First of all, I call myself a barbecue connoisseur, and so I feel I know what a good pound of barbecue, pound of ribs or chopped beef. I know what it tastes like. And I did the other side of the pendulum. I had barbecue from this place. It was not to my standard. Okay? It was okay, but it was not to my standard. And so instead of me recognizing that fact and understanding that, maybe this place is not that good, don't get your turkey here. I go back to black-owned business. Let me go in here as a black man. Hey, I'd like you to do my turkey. Here it is, beautiful, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Get it back, and it is dried up in the most horrible. We had to throw it out. We couldn't even eat it. And they just, not happy, and it was really bad. They just didn't cook it right. It was bad, and it
wasn't cooked. It was burned.
It was burned and dried out, and we never went back to the restaurant again.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised if you want to eat and eat.
And it has subsequently been out of business. Over a year and a half now, I think, because their food was not good. So the other side of this story is, just like I, as a radio broadcaster, you as a personality, if people don't have good experiences with us, or if we're not consistent, or if our show is bad, or if I'm a bad owner, I don't feel like people should patronize me or listen to you just because we're black.
No, like I said, whatever you got, you need to make sure it's on point, people. Okay,
way on point. We need to be above on point. We need to be better than the rest.
There you go now. If you ain't saying it, as we say, if you ain't saying one, okay, just don't bother. Just keep it moving, okay. But I wanted to make another point, Keros, because see, another reason why I wanted to talk about Black Wall Street in its essence is because I read something, and it said that when Black Wall Street, as it was named, was in its basically at its highest, basically, they were saying that the black pound, or in that case dollar, was not leaving the community. Sometimes it took over a year to leave, because obviously it was being spent over and over and over again within all those businesses within that community. But obviously nowadays they reckon that the black dollar leaves the black neighborhood every 15 minutes.
Oh,
so.
Oh yes, I don't even think it gets to the neighborhood. It could be a little less than that, or but I don't know. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. Is that it as soon as it comes in, it's going out. Okay. Now, Keros, I sent you this video. I'm not sure if you had a chance to watch it. Link 14, and it was interesting to me. It was a message to this generation from a mother. I found this video clip online, and basically people were being interviewed on the streets of New York about racism. And there was a mother who decided to share her view and also her daughter's experience of racism. But it's only a short video, but it's very powerful. And I'm thinking, you know what? Please read and share, because what I think she said was very revealing and interesting. She was saying that racism is not over, and that her generation were more vocal and inspired to speak out and fight against the way that they were treated as young people. But she feels that this generation seem to be a lot more sort of comfortable and relaxed with the fact that they can do what they want and live where they please. But can we really? Okay, that's another question. I throw it out there for you to let me know at ask-avani-show. She also said that she was not born in America, which was interesting to me. And she shared her insights of how black people's spending habits and power are perceived by the rest of the world. Basically, retail
retailers want black people as customers because we spend our money in their stores, but they do not wish to spend money with black-owned businesses. So she wanted to see what would happen, for example, if we decided to spend money with, black-owned businesses. Because if we, as black people, decide collectively not to spend money in any other stores, obviously not forever, just as a little test, shall we say. For example, not to go to the cinema and things like that, except in a black-owned business, even for a day. Come on, people, now. That's a big thing. Even for a day. What would happen, and what do we think that would look like? Now, that's a powerful question, isn't it, K-Rose?
It's something that really, if we really thought about it and we adhered to that policy, our communities would grow, and we would employ people within our own communities.
Thank you very
and
much.
I even think just from, and maybe, well, no, I don't think maybe. I think if we employed people that lived 2 blocks from our store, it would basically reduce crime in the area because, hey, why are you breaking into my store? Hey, don't you know I work there? Or why are you coming in and shoplifting in the store I work in?
There you go.
That makes the community act a certain way.
You would have a sense of pride because everybody would be able to be employed. So everyone would get a fair chance of having a nice life, getting a good education, living well, eating well, having a roof over their head, and so on, because everybody is looking out for each other's businesses and each other just in general. It's not sort of like that side of the town is prosperous and this side of the town, you don't go to that side of the town unless, you're looking for trouble. And you'll notice that sometimes, especially in a lot of cities, that side of the town is more prosperous and they tend to have more affluent businesses, more maybe white people, or example, whatever. And the other side, the bad side, quote unquote, again, people, I told you, cameras are coming, quote unquote, the other side of town, you can see that it's mainly maybe black people and Hispanic people or something like that, Latin American, and they've been put deliberately in that side of the town so that their lives are not as great. Again, people, this is not obviously the case for every single person of colour. Obviously, we have seen a lot of rich people, but for most people, as we know, we're not all rich, are we? And again, I'm sure some people say, oh yeah, but the ones that are rich, they don't really help nobody that's not doing well because they push the ladder away. They don't want no one else to join them up there. I don't know. Maybe they've tried to help, but that help hasn't been able to get out as much as it could.
So, and there's a lot to that also. That's another show. But people like to be around people who are like them. I understand that. And it's the same thing with people who have money. There are times when, irregardless of color, they don't want to be around people in your country, especially. God, that's bad.
Who ain't got the same. Oh well,
exactly.
No, well I'm not associated with you because you're not on the same level as me. But you see, that attitude really does wind me up sometimes. I'm thinking, not everybody was born with a silver spoon in their mouth, as we say over here.
But when they buy the spoon.
When they buy the spoon, they still don't want to mess with you. Though.
That's right. That's correct.
Thing. That's why it gets on my nerves. I'm thinking, listen, not everybody is old money, as it were. Not everybody was born into it. Money is money. However you came about it, it doesn't. As they said, you can't make a silk purse out of a pig's ear. I mean, hello.
but that's another part about this. There are people who
I don't mean you classy.
There are people of other colors that don't feel comfortable being around black people, and there are black people that don't feel like they're comfortable being around anybody else, Asian or Caucasian, or they don't feel comfortable being around them, so they act a certain way. Yeah. But when you go back to the business side of it, you said something that's very important. You have these people that are going to work, and they're going to, for like in Dallas, we're spread out. I mean, I'm not sure what the square mileage is for London, but I'm pretty sure Dallas is spread out a lot bigger than London is, just in space.
You can swallow us up, trust me.
But we have people that work, 30 miles from their home, right, and they're doing it and not spending money around their home.
Right, yeah, absolutely. That type of mentality is the same here. It's almost like they can't wait to get away from their area, and they will continue to spend their money in further places just to be able to say, yeah, I got that from there.
Right.
You're not thinking about your local area. Hello,